Show me something. Hello and welcome back to the Show Me Something podcast. I'm Trevor.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Will.
And this week I brought Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So before we get into this, the spoiler section of it, what did you guys think?
I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I almost watched more actually. Yeah. It was either later that day or the next morning or whatever. I didn't end up watching more, but I definitely could see myself finishing out the season. I liked it. Did I give it a rating? I did not, but I'd probably rate it at probably like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Awesome.
Cool. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I did not have any intent to finish it, but I'm glad that, spoiler alert, you've told us you're going to show us more.
Yeah. Next week is the next 3 or 4 episodes, depending.
We did do episodes 1 through 3 for this portion of the recording.
Yes.
There are parts that I liked. There are parts that I was lukewarm on. I had questions in terms of what happens moving forward, so I'm glad you're going to continue to show us. That way I can just not ask those questions and just wait to see myself.
Yeah. And feel free to ask questions, because if it is something that will be a spoiler, I will say wait and find out. If it's something that's never going to come up again, I'm fine with just telling you guys that off the bat.
Yeah, so I have a couple of general ones that I'll save for later in the episode. I would say probably 6.5 out of 10.
Cool. This is one of my all-time favorite shows. I have seen the show at least 4 times.
Wow.
I think 3 or 4. And I love this show. I really do. It was one of my early getting into anime shows. This came out in 2007.
Yeah.
The manga is still ongoing, but it hasn't been released very often. The author's not really good about releasing chapters. There's 3 seasons to this show. Seasons 1, Season 2, and then Season 3, which is called Roberta's Blood Trail. All 3 really good.
I was going to say, I thought I only saw 2 seasons.
There's a 3rd season called Roberta's Blood Trail. It's not as long. It's more of an No, it's not really an OST because it's multiple episodes. So it's technically a 3rd season. It's the closest thing we have to a 3rd season.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Love the show. So the overall synopsis is we follow a pirate company called Lagoon Company with Rock or Okajima Rokaru
Hero or something like that.
I don't know. I only ever know.
Rokaru Hokajima.
Yeah.
I wrote him down just as Rock.
And that's pretty much all I ever write him down. Like, even in my early notes, I'm like, hey, there's Rock. And then they say what his name is later. I'm like, oh, that's right. Yeah. He has his full name.
I in the beginning, before they gave him a nickname, I was just calling him Guy.
Which is
the main guy.
Yeah.
And like his story joining up with this crew. And that's kind of the overall summary of the show.
Which couldn't happen faster.
It happens really quick. So I guess now we're going to get into the
Insanely
spoiler
quick.
territory.
Okay, yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to throw into the
non-spoiler section?
Yeah, the plot.
Not really, because everything else is, I guess, kind of spoiler, more or less.
Is it made by anybody notable? Like the guy, like has the person who made this show made other anime?
Yes, he did. He made something called it's a weird name that nobody can pronounce.
Okay,
gotcha.
And it's that show's about
the anime nerds will know it.
Jormungandr or something like that. I don't know. It's about a mercenary group.
Okay.
It's got a child soldier in it, which is kind of wild. He's one of the main characters.
Seems like he has similar tones to this a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
It's actually the first 3/4 of that show is the only thing I've actually seen. Because it's fantastic, and it's a lot like it's a similar tone and set stuff to Black Lagoon, but then at the end apparently it takes a huge nosedive, so I haven't bothered to finish it. I've always wanted to, just to see for myself, and then just never really did. I don't know why.
Yeah,
stuff would come up, new shows would come out, something along those lines, and it doesn't grab you as well as Black Lagoon does, because Black Lagoon the whole time you're like yes, for me at least.
I would say you guys should at least check it out if you haven't seen it. If you like gun action,
very
type
action
stuff,
show,
mostly with guns.
Yeah,
pretty much everything, or like
At least in the
modern day pirates, if you like that kind of theming, and criminals.
Yeah, a lot of very criminal.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're set in Roanoke.
But those are like the themes that, like, if you like that type of stuff, you could jump into and give it a shot.
Yeah, the setting is a fictional lawless city on the South China Sea called Roanoke, where basically criminals go. It's a criminal like haven, more or less.
Yeah, similar to like the pirate cities in the Caribbean from back in the day.
Exactly. So
It's just like a modern day version.
yeah, that's the non-spoiler version. Go watch it if you want to, or if you've already seen it, then welcome to the spoiler version.
Yeah, to the spoiler zone.
So yeah.
It starts off. The first episode is titled "The Black Lagoon."
Yep.
My first note is fuck. This intro is intense.
Theme is insane.
The themes.
I don't really like the theme, but
No.
I'm not like that's not my shit. Like you guys know that more than the
Yeah.
audience, I guess. The anime music is like not my thing. It's too intense and too dramatic.
Even for me, in terms of I guess I'm technically the resident anime fan of
Yes,
this group.
for sure.
Like even for me, anime music is not something I listen to regularly. I do have some songs. No. I have some songs.
I don't believe you.
It's not like compared to like my friends that I go to anime conventions with, they listen to a lot more songs from a lot more animes very regularly. Whereas for me, there's a couple of choice songs sparsed in. This is one of them though.
Interesting.
Just because I love the show so much, and the song for me is not bad.
I also feel like what does that intro have anything to do with
It doesn't.
the actual show? It's so different.
no, there's going to be a show I'll show you guys later that literally the intro could not be more opposite from what the show's
Like
about.
my only other thing I can pull from is like Demon Slayer, which the song is like
That's not even that bad. Though.
No, it's a good song, and it's like events that happen in the show, basically.
Oh yeah, no.
And then with Avatar, it's literally just like a dump of like lore.
Yeah, everything changed in the fight. No,
And you're like, okay.
most anime intros don't really. Well, a lot of them do show what happens in the show. I think in this era, a lot of them are just like, "Hey, stuff. This is the show," kind of.
Yeah, and then the other Pokemon that I've seen when I was a kid, or the other anime Pokemon.
I mean, I feel like
which the song is all about the plot.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Can I just read the opening lines from this theme song?
Let's hear it.
I could probably tell them from memory right now, but
Let's hear him. Let's see if it matches up.
Yeah.
I
go.
have big gun. I took it from my lord. Slick with justice. I just want to feel you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that actually
What?
everything right except one word. It's I have a big gun.
Oh, they even put I in there.
I took it from my lord. Sick with
Oh,
justice.
sick with justice.
I just want to feel you. I fucking heard this and I was like, what the fuck am I listening to, watching? Like, I get that it's a language barrier and I don't want to be too critical of it because of that. But at the same time, like, I'm watching an English dub version of this anime.
Yeah,
What
we watched the dub version of the show, not the sub.
What the fuck does this theme song mean?
So that's the thing, especially back in this time, Japanese people think English sounds cool. That's
Right on.
more or less it. Is they put a bunch of English words together, and
Isn't that still the case?
yeah, more or less. But like a lot of times, yeah, they're just like, especially back then, it was like we're just gonna throw some English words in here. You're gonna hear some songs maybe later from other shows from the era where like they generally don't dub the opening theme song. The opening theme song is generally always how it was,
Yeah,
which is in Japanese,
Yeah.
with English words sparse throughout.
Yeah.
in like the chorus.
Yeah, more modern songs do much better with their English usage, like actually forming real sentences. This song definitely
Does
doesn't.
not.
It's-
You make me violate you no matter who you are.
Yep.
What?
What does that mean?
Probably one of the better versions,
Promiscuous.
like usages of English, honestly.
Been burned in the hell by all those pigs out there?
I don't even remember that being said. Is
Definitely
that an
is
English
said.
translation?
Yes.
Oh, that's said?
That's what the subtitles say.
Ooh, okay. I don't remember that part, but regardless, it's a rocky song. It's...
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I dig it, personally. Just of
It
course,
sounds good.
yeah.
it sounds great.
It sounded
It
pretty
doesn't read well, but it sounds good.
yeah.
It's definitely no Tank.
Oh, no, absolutely
good.
not.
I wouldn't listen to it by choice.
But Tank is...
Tank is an all time.
Tank
talking
is-
about Tank Girl.
No,
No.
we're talking about Cowboy Bebop. That's the name of the theme for for Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is going to be the show that we have to wait a couple of episodes to show.
Because both Trevor and I love it. And
That's
Jake
fine. I wanted to watch it anyway.
There's a lot of great references in that show, too.
Fuck.
But
we want to watch the entire thing, so.
I mean...
And the movie.
I actually haven't seen the movie.
What?
I know, right? It's crazy.
Does the movie take place after the show?
No, it's in the middle of the show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like...
A la Drake and Josh.
A lot of animes will do that, actually. Like
That's why Drake and Josh is the best anime.
I love this timeline.
Cory in the House is the best anime. Thank you
That's
very
true.
much.
That's a pretty good one.
Fuck yeah.
But...
No, the movie takes place with, like, I think 4 or 6 episodes left
I don't know that.
of the actual anime.
Makes sense,
It's really
though.
good. It's really good.
I bet it is.
I
I've
watched
heard-
it way after I watched the show.
I've only heard good things about the
It's
movie.
very
I just
good.
have yet to sit down and do it, but maybe I'll wait.
Yeah, I could show it to you both.
That would be kind of cool.
I honestly think it would probably stand up without having seen the show also.
Maybe I think it'd be kind of cool to sparse it in there, like while we're showing the show,
Yeah.
and then throw it in there, because then we get your opinion as someone who has seen both, my opinion as someone who's only seen the show multiple times,
And Cobb.
then Cobb on his first go through of the whole thing. So,
Yeah. There we go. All right, spoilers.
Sounds great.
so that's probably
That's our Bebop
that's
schedule.
our Bebop schedule for now. Well, Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
So after the opening,
Theme.
after the theme,
My first note, nice gray tones in corporate setting.
Yeah, they really move like quick.
The pace of the show is crazy.
Yeah.
it is.
It's very fast.
Yeah.
At least in episode 1.
I mean, I would say in all of
The first 3. The 3 is a bit
The
more
first
languid.
two. The first
Yeah.
2, and then the third one, I think.
3
slows
is a
down
bit more languid than the 1 and 2, but I like how they introduce Rock, and he's in this corporate setting. It's all very gray, but he's color.
Yeah.
You know, it's like almost like black and white versus color. He gets his shit punched out by his boss.
Yeah, it's
His
like
ass, it literally kicked.
He gets like a rhino, you know,
Bro,
that is. He gets his knee up his butt.
yeah, and the place is called the City of Winter. Is that that's what he
No,
calls it?
I believe it's Tokyo.
But isn't that what he calls
He
it?
refers to it as city of
He
Winter.
does refer to it as the city
That's
of winter.
what I wrote down. Guy has bad job in City of Winter.
Yeah.
No, like they, it's not really I can't even. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, so I'm not going to talk about it. But it's
Right
Tokyo.
on.
It's Tokyo.
Ooh.
That is a spoiler in and of itself. They said it was the City of Winter, my dude.
Anyways,
The
yeah,
pirates steal a freaking disc.
they do steal a disc, which
I had no idea what was going on in the beginning.
well, you're not really. You're thrown into it.
Had
Okay.
zero idea.
You're literally like when I first watched it, I didn't either. It was like,
Okay,
okay,
good.
this
So
guy
that's-
just got
so I
punched
wasn't-
out.
I wasn't alone.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's kind of
Yeah,
on
I was
purpose.
like, holy shit, so much is happening, and then it's just like, all right, what's going on? Who are these freaking guys?
Yeah, exactly. You're thrown into it. Like these people are pirates stealing this thing, and then oh hey, by the way, they're kidnapping Rock
Yes,
because
So the-
Rebby wants to get a ransom.
Yeah, so the pirates are that he ends up joining the crew of. It's Rebby, who's the mean girl with the guns, aka Two Hands,
Yep,
and then Benny, who's the computers expert from Florida.
yep. Love Benny. He's one of
And
my favorite
Dutch,
characters.
who's the captain. He's like the grizzled, like vet captain.
I thought he was the same voice actor as Jet.
Interesting.
not.
He's not.
He's
but
not.
like interesting.
But
No,
I thought it
I can
was.
definitely see what you're talking
Like similar
about.
tone.
No, yeah, I love the cast. So good.
I don't love Revy.
Rebby grows on you.
I don't like Rebby at all.
Her performance in the first episode was like so boring and stereotypical, like action girl.
Yeah.
I do actually.
She
speaking-
does warm up in the third episode though.
Yeah,
I
and
would
she
say.
continues to warm up as the show goes on.
Okay.
I disagree. I didn't really like her in any of the 3 episodes.
Okay.
I'm more. I like Dutch the best. I
Dutch
think,
is one of the best characters.
but yeah, it just seems like he has more going on and he has like a better past.
Yeah.
He, I believe, I mean, they don't really delve into his past ever during the show. They mention it briefly. I think he's
It seems like he's like done some shit.
I think he's a non-vet.
he does wear like army gear.
Yeah, he's wearing like olives.
I think
And
he
he's
was,
got like pinups in the cabin.
yeah.
Which he even, well, we'll talk about it later. But the ship kind of gets fucked up when stuff happens, and like he still, even when they repair the ship, same pinups, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh no, of course.
It's probably for background usage for the artist to make it easier. But I like that he kept the same.
Gotta keep
pinups.
the booby girls.
yeah, the booby girl. I mean, the booby girls never really get damaged during the.
But I did have a thing when you were talking about voice actors.
Yeah.
The one of the boardroom guys I wrote down sounds like the cultural minister of Ba Sing Se from Avatar. It sounds like the same voice.
It probably is.
To be
honest.
That's a great reference.
But it's only because I'm watching that right now, and I just watched the first episode where they meet him in Avatar.
It's the board. Okay,
I just wrote down boardroom guy. I think it might have been the boss, but I don't remember. All I wrote down was boardroom guy.
Is it the guy who recurs? You don't know.
I don't remember.
Because there was another
just off the right when I heard him in the beginning, it sounded like the bossing.
There's another guy in episode 2, which is like one of the higher ups, where they're like, we didn't know about that, and he's like, this employee. That voice that for me is familiar, but I don't.
It might have been that guy.
I think it's a separate voice actor because he's not in episode 1. I don't believe. But yeah, so Rock gets kidnapped with a disc from the boat that he's on.
Yeah.
By Lagoon Company.
And they are in the
South China Sea.
Right. Don't they call it something the Sea of Heaven? Or that's
yeah.
in the second episode.
Sea of Heaven. But yes.
Yeah. Mangrove Heaven is the second episode.
Yeah,
they
refer to it as
the Sea of Heaven. Yes, for sure.
But the episode title is Mangrove Heaven. Yeah. My next note is that they where is it? Her bullets miss him like in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Which,
it's so like Pulp Fiction.
It's super Pulp Fiction, but also had to be on purpose because we see later how fucking good she is with those guns.
Yeah. Or was it just like Pulp Fiction where it was like divine intervention?
No.
Thoughts, guys? I'm going to stick with that's how it is because I feel like I don't know.
I just thought it was a great introduction to the whole main cast. Immediately,
it was purely scare tactic.
Fuck Rebby.
Yeah, Rebby's trash.
No, I mean
she is. 3 episodes in, not a great character.
I'll give it to you.
Not
She's
likable.
just angry and profane.
Yeah.
Why is she so mad?
I mean, she kind of tells you later, but
cool. Then that's dope.
Well, no, like in these 3 episodes, more or less.
She does talk about her background a little bit.
In the first episode specifically, I was like, I fucking hate this character.
Yeah.
She's so boring.
I can see why you would. I immediately
and she's
was
giving
like,
Rock a hard time.
She's like calls him a pussy, calls him a bitch. Then like also I wrote
those down.
I watched the first episode with Marissa, and when she said like let's kneecap this pussy, Race was like because like she watches Sailor Moon and has never heard like profanity in anime before, and that made me laugh. I was like, yeah, they curse sometimes.
She curses a lot in this show.
It's just like I was like, this is way too over the top and absurd.
To be fair, it's 2007.
No, I know, but
does that change?
Let's kneecap this pussy. I was like, what?
2007 is still early on, somewhat in the anime, like becoming relevant in the U.S. and like dubbing and stuff like that.
Toonami times.
So a lot of dubs were trash.
This dub is decent though.
This is a good dub.
I thought it was pretty good.
A lot of people regard this as one of the better dubs of anime.
Bebop
overall.
being the best?
Bebop is definitely one of the best, for sure.
Shampoo is good too.
Bebop, Shampoo, and oh gosh, I'll think of it later.
Okay.
But for me, this is one of my main arguments when people are like, dubs sucks. I'm like, dubs don't suck. A lot of dubs suck. Dubs overall don't suck.
The Attack on Titan dub is fucking great.
Attack on Titan's dub's good. I think I watched that sub though. So, because I switch up. More recently, I watched stuff subbed.
Yeah.
I still am watching Hero Academia dubbed because that's what I started it with, and I can't. Once I start a show, either dubbed or subbed, I find it almost impossible to switch it.
Hard to switch, yeah.
Yeah, so
probably has a pretty different feel to it when you switch.
Depending on the show, there's one show, Ghost Stories, where whenever they brought it over to the U.S., the main original company that made it was like, we don't care, and so they literally made it a parody of itself in the dub.
Oh.
The dialogue's entirely different. They're more or less matching their voice, like what they're saying, to the lip flaps, I think.
Why would they do that?
It's funny as shit because it's dumb as hell, but
that seems fucked.
We might watch it, maybe.
It's like it reminds me of like the bad lip reading videos on YouTube.
Kind of.
Like they just did that,
well, official,
but for their real show.
That's the official dub. Because the sub version is also kind of a trash show, so they were just like, screw it, go for whatever you want, and then they went for whatever they wanted.
Like that hentai show that you showed me.
I don't think I showed you a hentai.
I'm thinking of the one where they're half like snakes.
Oh, Monster Musume.
Yeah,
that is an ecchi show. Not a hentai. There's a difference.
Is it ecchi hentai?
No, it's a difference.
It's barely.
They can't actually show any sex or nipples.
So it's just super horny.
Yeah, extremely. Which I watched a lot of ecchi in my day.
That was the first thing he ever showed me of anime.
because I thought it'd be funny to get his reaction.
And I think that
You
was
went right
after
to
we
Etchy?
was that after we recorded the first episode of Drake and Josh when you were still in college.
Probably.
That was
Why else would
man.
you have been in my apartment? I don't know.
We were chilling.
Watching some fucking porn.
I wanted to get his reaction. Anyways, back to Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my next note. So they go back and forth in the opening minutes of the first episode between the boat and the corporate office.
Yes.
My first note after, oh shit, is this about pirates? is
I love that note.
the repeating of Rokuro's name. So they're in an office scene and they say it's Rokuro Hokajima.
Yeah.
Then they go to the boat scene and he says, "My name is Rokuro Hokajima."
Mm-hmm.
They go back to an office scene and they repeat, "Who is the man in the boat?" It's Rokuro Hokajima.
I definitely think they repeated it in the office scene with the manager, with the upper tier management guy, because he's
like, "What's his name?"
He didn't really give a shit what his name was because it's an employee number, blah, 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 blah,
But they
blah,
make a super point
of saying his name.
Like, he's like, his name is Rokuro Hokajima.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very slow and deliberate.
I think they're making sure you know what his real name is. That way, whenever later they're like, it's Rock. Because you'll never hear his full name again, I'm pretty sure, in this show, except for... I think at some point in season 2, he says it a couple of times.
No
for
spoilies.
reasons.
Classic.
No
first
spoilies.
ep,
No
like,
spoilers. I'm just
introducing.
saying in season 2, I think he brings it up
Yeah,
again.
it felt, the pacing felt weird. But I have other notes on the pacing, so I'll leave that there.
Also, because later on in the episode, he basically gets rid of that name himself.
Right.
So they're making sure it's established. This is his name. He's a corporate. This is basically his corporate slave name.
Right.
And then eventually, he sheds that later on in the episode. But anyways, yeah. So they're super lax though like, they take him as a hostage, and Dutch is like, "Hey, Rebby, how do you plan on getting this hostage situation to go off?" And she has no idea because she's dumb.
Yeah. Because she's trying to make extra cash off of him.
Yeah, they think that they'll pay big for him, which
But they clearly will not.
they clearly will not.
They don't care at all.
He's
No.
just an employee, like you were saying.
Yeah. So, they go to the they
go to
park
that
the
dope
boat
bar.
and they go to the Yellow Flag, which is
Pirate bar.
pirate bar, but it's also a recurring place. It's a recurring location in this show.
It got destroyed.
It comes
I mean,
back.
based on
Does
basically,
she repay him, like he says?
No spoilies.
I mean, we're talking about this scene right now.
I don't think she ever does, but maybe.
That's fucked.
Because the bar does get rebuilt multiple times.
It's also
'Cause
bulletproof.
They've even talked about in the show how this bar has definitely been destroyed before.
Right.
Because she's like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
bulletproof the bar." Whenever the mercenaries show up,
Yeah, mercenaries show up. Before that, though, she drinks a full glass of rum to the brim.
her and Rock,
And so does Rock.
Yeah, it shook me.
her and Rock both go drink for drink.
Yeah,
getting-
they have a contest.
They
Did
do.
Bacardi get paid off this placement, you think?
They don't mention
You know-
Bacardi.
yeah,
Yes,
they do.
they
They literally
absolutely
say,
do.
Oh,
"Hey,
shit.
bartender, bring us all the Bacardi in the place."
Oh, I didn't pick up on
The
that.
glass, the rum bottle itself said RDI, and I was like, I wonder if they're just skirting the copyright. And then they say, "Bring me the full bottle of Bacardi."
That's
which is
wild.
Which is wild, especially considering later on in the show we get a close up of a knockoff Heineken can.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that. No, it was in the
So
one
they
we
probably got fucked off the Bacardi, and we're like, well, we can't buy any more alcohol rights.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
the
me either.
history behind that.
watched. Wasn't like
aspect.
just the N changed to an R on the Heineken bottle? It
Oh,
was like
I-
the exact same thing.
I literally wrote it down somewhere. But keep going until I find
yeah,
it.
so the mercenaries show up and start fucking up the bar,
Well-
and they have like a shootout.
Yeah, Rock and Rebby go back and forth on the rum.
Yeah.
Until like the whole bar is watching them drink each other under the table, essentially. And then mercenaries show up.
Mm-hmm.
Mercenaries we see who are hired by the company Rock works for,
Yes,
right? Because they want.
Yeah, the main guy's
There's
crazy,
like a
the main-
disc.
they know that the
Yeah,
disc-
I had no idea what was going on. I was like,
So,
there's a freaking
There's
disc.
a fucking disc, and I don't know.
And they're
what's
pissed for whatever reason.
Lagoon Company-
I'm still confused. 3
Really?
episodes in. A little
Lagoon
bit.
Company was hired to get the disc for the Russian mob. The Russian mob is the one that contacted the company to be like, "We have the disc,"
Why does the Russian mob lady's face look so weird?
because she was in war and it's all fucked up
She was
from
burned.
burns.
It's burns.
Yeah.
They call her like burn face or some
Burn
shit like
bitch.
that.
Yeah, they call her something. Balalaika's the best. I love Balalaika. She's an awful human.
Is
I'm
she
more
the,
of a
is
Mr.
she the
Chin
burn
guy.
lady?
Yeah.
I'm more of a Mr. Chin guy.
Who's Mr. Chin?
He's the guy that gets fucking killed.
Oh, in the third ep?
Yeah. Jumping ahead of it.
Yeah, his eyes are all fucked up.
He's funny.
Yeah.
His eyes are like one's looking up and one's looking the other way.
Yeah, Mr. Chin is cool.
He's not. Anyways. Yeah, so like
Balalaika.
the company finds out that the disc is not in the hands of the Russian mob yet.
Yeah.
It's in the hand of Lagoon Company, so they hire the mercenaries to try and get it back before it gets to the hands of the mob. So that way they don't have to pay and people don't find out exactly what's on the disc.
Even though it was the plan the whole time for it to get there or something like that?
What do you mean?
Like, it seemed like they also wanted it to get changed over. I was confused when they were having the meetings
At the end?
and stuff, I guess, yeah. Because it
Or-
seemed like they were also fine with the disc going over to a different side. Or like they wanted something to happen in transit. I was confused.
It was low key hard for me to follow as well.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm okay,
right?
we're
They
gonna
wanted something to happen in transit.
Yeah.
That's what it's. That's what
the
boss-
company did?
That's what it seemed like.
They did not.
Are you sure?
So what? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about like the whole plot of this 2-episode arc. The disc had nuclear weapon plans on it because
Yeah.
the company did under the table dealings with some country that's unnamed to help them develop nuclear weapons.
This is the part why I thought that they wanted something to happen in transit.
They didn't. They
wanted
were.
it to not seem like it was them.
They didn't want anyone to
Right?
know that it was them, but they didn't. The Lagoon Company takes the disc for the Russian mob because the Russian mob knows it has something to do with the nuclear weapons. So they want the disc to then bribe the company into paying them, which does end up happening. But they didn't ever want it captured. I don't know what part makes it seem like they wanted it captured.
I think that whole part when they were talking about the like under the table dealings, I assumed that they wanted it to be captured in transit because they didn't want it to look like it was them just dealing in case somebody found out.
No, because they end up getting the disc back at the end anyways.
That's what I thought.
So, no, that's not what they wanted to happen. They wanted Rock to just deliver the disc
Right on.
and be done.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so that was, like, no, that's the plot. They don't ever want it captured.
But yeah, so the mercenaries were fucking up the bar, and I wrote down they fucked up, but it don't seem over.
It don't.
That's what I wrote.
Which part did it not seem over at?
When one of the soldiers was reporting back to the main mercenary, and he was like, "We underestimated these guys.
It's like, yeah, of course it's not over because we have the whole
It
two-hand.
ain't over."
Well, we have the whole two-hand scene, too, before that, where they're...
Yeah,
Bulletproof
2 hands.
bar.
She comes out, and her and Dutch are pretty much in sync, where it's like Dutch
Show
gives her
why you
covering
call them
fire.
2 hands.
Yeah, and
Fuck Rebby, bro.
Yeah,
Nah.
that shit was sweet, but Rebby is still trash. At that
it
point.
was a sweet scene, yeah.
Fuck Rebby, dude.
She has her two...
whole at this
I
point
will
though.
say also that I'm not blown away by the action.
Really?
No.
The action is fine. My biggest
Coming off of the
complaint.
action in Demon Slayer,
I mean, you're talking about
Way
a show
better.
from 2007 to a
I
show...
don't give a fuck, bro. And Alpha of Avatar, also better
The
action.
Bebop action is also better than this, and that's older.
Yeah, but those are high budget shows. This was not that high budget of a show.
Okay, so can I mention then
Yeah.
the hazy quality of the animation? Why is it also hazy?
Yeah, low budget.
That's what it is?
Saving money.
Damn. I don't love the hazy quality of
That's
it.
fair. That's fair.
I'm spoiled, I guess.
Lower budget stuff and also the time period, more or less.
Okay.
A lot of stuff is going to be the time period. It is an older show.
I'd love to see like what else was made during this time period.
Yeah, me too.
And
You
if it
keep
has a
bringing up the time
similar,
period, is it like super? You can always tell it was mid 2000s.
like where was YuYu Hakusho? Older?
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know YuYu Hakusho?
It sounds really familiar.
Do you know Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah. It's also just
It's
called
the-
Hunter x Hunter.
The guy that he's the guy who made Hunter
I've
x Hunter.
heard it as Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, same. The guy, but I'm not a weeb.
Me
so
neither.
I don't-
As a
And
weeb,
you are.
it's Hunter x Hunter.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna call it Hunter x Hunter.
the guy who made
That's
Hunter
fair.
x Hunter,
What the fuck? All right, yeah, sure.
guy who
Hunter x
made-
Hunter.
listen, I'm a music boy. I'm not an anime boy. The guy who made Hunter x Hunter,
All I do is play Call of Duty.
the show before was YuYu Hakusho.
Okay.
Damn, you don't know Yu Yu Hakusho? I've seen like the first season. It's fucking dope.
I've
They're
probably
ghost hunters. It's sweet.
I've probably been shown it.
Okay.
But
Okay, I'll look it up and see when that was made because that is like a lot crisper than this is. I just don't know. I want to know what the quality is that makes it seem hazy. Like it looks foggy almost.
that also might be a style choice, to be fair.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then that's fine. I don't like it.
I'm not positive because also I'm not 100% sure on what you're talking about. There's a couple of action scene sequences where I know they kind of slide. It looks like they're almost sliding a character across the screen.
No, so I mean literally like in every scene, instead of every character being in sharp focus, there's almost like a dull glow around them.
Like foggy
Do you know what
and
I
dreamy?
mean? Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It's
I noticed
like a
it
little
even in the
more
outdoor
foggy.
scene?
I noticed
Yeah.
it more when they were on the ocean.
Really? I'm not 100% sure what you guys are...
Okay, maybe I'll try and pull up like a
And also
screen
might be
grab.
my nostalgia goggles, like completely ignoring stuff like that, because I do love this show.
Maybe.
Then that's also very
And I will say that
Possible.
I might like make fun of it and stuff and bring up silly points and stuff, but I did enjoy it a lot.
No, please bring up.
And
the
I
silly-
was gonna just watch more episodes.
Also-
before you said that.
Yu Yu Hakusho was from 92 to 94.
Then there you go. It might be a style choice.
So it's probably a
It
style
might be a
choice.
budget choice. Who knows? Because there's going to be some shows later on also where you can definitely tell, oh, they're saving the budget or they ran out of money.
Yeah.
So there's like one show that we will watch that I'm not even going to bring it up what the show is, but people who know anime will know they straight up went to pencil drawings at one point because they ran out of
really?
money.
Oh, I like that though.
Yeah, lack of funds. But anyways, yeah, but like the I love that the mercenary guy is just so evil. He's
Yeah.
just so evil.
He's got that dope
hilarious.
scar on his face.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
He's got the scar and
He's
he's
like
like
a classic like Bond villain where he like can't think straight. He just wants this like specific plan to happen.
he wants the plan and he wants the thrill of the fight.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about like, oh,
Which that
back
stuff
in
happens more in like the second episode.
for sure, but like he's like, oh, back in Lebanon we only had old men and children to shoot, and it's like, yeesh.
Yikes. Big yikes.
Yeah, evil guy is evil, pretty much.
My next note is about the dial-up sounds that they use for the dude's computer on the ship.
Yeah, it's great.
Like,
Great.
what the fuck? He's like, we're dialing up. I'm like,
2007,
whoa.
no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean they're on a
Yeah, how the
ship
fuck was
doing
he even
computer
doing that on a
stuff.
computer?
Like,
Pirate radio, dude.
yeah.
He was using an AM frequency.
Hell yeah, I'm on fucking AIM right now.
He's Benny. I love Benny.
Benny is sweet. The fact that Benny is from Florida,
Is so great. And
it
he's
made me
wearing,
laugh out loud.
he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
And there's a long-standing bit in this show about Hawaiian shirts. So I just want to
Trevor
point
is
out,
wearing a Hawaiian shirt right now.
I wore my Hawaiian shirt specifically today for this reason.
It is classic.
Trevor is Benny.
I am Benny and Rock in an alternate timeline where he actually wears the Hawaiian shirt.
Whoa, spoiler alert.
Also, is this the episode or is it the second episode where we see the boss's home life?
Second episode.
Second episode.
Okay, so the only thing I have then for this one that like is about how the boss is saying how Rock is gonna die basically, or that he would have died at sea.
Yeah.
This is like before they like meet up or whatever.
Yeah.
They were talking about how he just died.
We're going to promote you.
Yeah.
And all the board members will attend your funeral.
Yeah. It's like-
Disappear, please. And it's
but
like,
it's only
what?
promoted to like assistant manager. It's not
Right.
even-
I guess
He's not
that's
even
a-
a fucking manager.
I assume it's the rank up above that he was currently at.
Yeah, but that's fucked, bro.
Yeah,
They
it's
were just
really
gonna
fu-
have him die.
That's corporate America.
Corporate Japan.
Yeah. That's actually corporate Winter City.
Yeah.
And we do have the helicopter come in this episode.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my last note. Is helicopter with Merc guy swoops in to attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I missed two notes. During the bar scene, my note was, where is your ammo count now, Trevor? Because you counted ammo during rope,
I did.
and like Rebby shot way more than a full clip without reloading during
So
that
she
scene.
is wielding two custom Beretta 9mm.
Here we go. This is what I'm
92
here for.
FS.
Here he is.
I will admit I did not do a bullet count on her, but also
Shameful.
she is not out there that long.
Trevor.
She fires a lot of
Shameful.
shots. Oh, okay, Beretta
It sounds like
92 FS.
you only do this for when it's live action, but when you don't do it for your lovely little animes.
I don't do it that often for animes because it's anime, which is
So?
fair. No, that's fair.
This show is super realistic.
Hold on. Okay, so I can't remember if Beretta's 92 FS is definitely a double stack. I'm positive.
Definitely.
He's just trolling you right now. You don't have to actually
I'm
count.
fucking with you. I just thought it was a funny point to bring up.
Because this show is like so much just guns.
He's visualizing the Beretta clip in his head and counting the number of
I
bullets.
don't know. I can't.
When
I don't,
she was shooting the grenade launcher, did she have grenades on her? Where
yes,
were the grenades?
that's what that big strap that was around her was.
I didn't notice. I'm just asking.
There was a really cool shot in this because that's second episode or third episode.
Yeah, we're
Spoiler
almost
alert.
into it. We're almost into
But
it.
she has like a big like mandoiler and it's like blowing in the wind.
It's
on
dope.
her.
Bandolier?
Bandolier. Thank you. I mispronounced
If
that.
you played Call of Duty, it's called the Thumper.
Hell yeah, the thumper.
So that is actually a
Yo, where's the gunfight at, dude?
M. That is an M7.
We're like a gunfight break in between.
M762.
No, it's an M79 grenade launcher.
Fuck.
And
My
then
fun fact: when I was in high school, high school,
Vietnam?
no, high school actually, Palm Harbor, Florida. One of my friends, because they were like real into airsoft. They had an airsoft version of like that grenade launcher.
really, that's pretty cool. How did it work?
I don't actually know. I never saw it actually fired. We used it for a short film, for like one short film.
Is it the one where you are constantly cocking a pistol back and forth? That
No,
annoys me?
older.
Okay.
Even more
Before
like,
Mosh Pit?
No, Mosh Pit still, but older than that. We did it for a long time, Trevor.
Okay, that's fair.
Um,
But yeah, so Rebby pulls out the anti-tank gun to shoot at the helicopter.
badass.
That is a Gerpert Freeze. No, a Gerpard. I'm so sorry. That is the
You
Mark.
sure that wasn't just a Barrett 50 cal, my
It was
dude?
not. It was the Mark III Gerpart, which fires a 14.5 by 114 millimeter shell. It's literally an anti-tank gun, or
And
anti-aircraft as well.
What exactly? Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what is the difference between anti-tank and anti-aircraft? It seems like
Anti-aircraft generally is a mounted weapon system.
but it seems like this bullet would definitely be able to penetrate, and in the show, it could not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that this
Tank shell has to be thick as fuck, thicker than a helicopter. Am
So-
I wrong?
This is an anti-material rifle, and it was
Am I
well
wrong?
known for its destructive capabilities, and literally lists in the Wikipedia article, because I read about it to make sure for this episode, that it was used to take down helicopters.
So what's going on? Why did it bounce off
It
like
shouldn't
this
have
It was like, bing!
It should not have
like
bounced
as
off.
if all she did was shoot a marble at it.
If it was just like a Full Metal Jacket 50 cal, I could see it maybe bouncing off, maybe. Like
Great
on a
movie.
glancing shot like that, depending how armored that helicopter was.
Yeah.
But this thing was literally used to take down helicopters.
Apparently not, because she couldn't do shit, and
No,
she was a nerd for it.
That was kind of dumb. And then Rock is thrown.
So we're now fully into the Mangrove Heaven,
Yes, now we've
episode 2.
have our
Crazy-
immediate. The
crazy
episode
episode.
ends with Rock throwing the assault rifle given to him into the ocean.
Yeah.
And then the next episode starts with him throwing the assault rifle into the ocean.
Great drama.
That is a Heckler and Koch G3A3.
Heckler and
Fires
Koch.
7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO rounds.
Hell yeah.
Rebby talks about how much those guns cost. That gun costs about $3,000 to $5,000.
Right on, brother.
There we go. I do my research for
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I like it, because we're definitely... Well, he's going to call you on it. I didn't even think to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Get out the bullets, Trevor.
I know, I'm fucking with you. Yeah, of course I'm gonna fucking call you on it. Because you made a big deal of the whole...
It did.
is it a snub nose?
It was a big deal.
To me,
It was a big deal.
It was.
I just want to be
It was
consistent.
like a 25-minute tangent.
This
I wrote.
podcast is about consistency,
So...
if nothing else.
That's why I did my research.
Yeah, so the helicopter ends up basically forcing them down a river.
Yes. Down a mangrove, which we're all very familiar with mangroves here in Florida.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Love mangroves. They're awesome.
They're
Yeah, they're
sweet.
pretty cool. They're good for protecting coastlines.
I love that it's such a picturesque area, and yet shit's fucked.
Yeah,
Shit
for sure.
is fucked.
Yeah, so the helicopter is like... They're basically like taunting them at this point. And they end up stopping where like a wrecked ship is at. That's where the helicopter stops. And then the crew keeps sailing down this river trying to get the fuck out of there. Because they can't take the helicopter in a head-to-head battle in this scenario.
They know they're going down a dead-end river, and Dutch tries his best to get out of there, but then
They forced them to that
missiles
certain
and
direction.
rockets and all sorts of shit to keep them from coming at them. Like
So then-
from going away, yeah.
Rock formulates a plan.
Yes. We have our little bit of a stalemate moment where it's like
They can't do anything.
Rock freaks out, loses his shit for a minute, and then
Don't they punch him?
Yeah, Dutch does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dutch punches him in the face.
Classic, let's just punch him out.
Classic logic punch.
And it does. It makes him calm down, and he thinks about it. And this does somewhat become a trend in the show where Rock actually becomes somewhat of the brains of the crew.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Dutch is incredibly intelligent and is better for most of the combat stuff, but
Yeah.
Rock has got...
Like tricksy, like little clever plans.
And business stuff.
Tricksy.
Later.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so...
Classic hobbits.
Rock comes up with the idea, hey, we're going to fucking jump the crashed ship.
That shit was crazy.
And so, by the way, the boat that they're on is a torpedo boat. We have yet to mention that this whole time. There's four...
It's like an insanely armored torpedo, like fucking tiny little whatever it is, battleship thing.
Yeah, it's like a little boat with 4 torpedo tubes on the top deck.
Until the moment
on the top deck.
they jumped that.
Why is it above the waterline?
I think that's a real thing. I'm not...
You boof them off the fucking top of the...
Yeah, and then they go down and they...
Is that a thing? Is that actually a thing?
I think it is, but I'm not positive.
It doesn't seem legit.
You don't seem legit.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The back two obviously are completely unusable
Yeah.
because they're right behind the front two. But I assume at that point you slide the back two
Just
forward
gotta-
into the front
Just
tube.
push them up, dude.
Yeah, into the front tubes. So whatever.
Yeah.
I had no
Because
idea.
in the third episode they had him again.
Yeah.
So did
They
they
reloaded.
Did they reload, get new shells, or did they just push the other?
I
ones
assume
up front?
the back two are now in the front launchers.
Yeah, I only noticed from a front view shot of the boat, so I don't know.
I
What were you
had
saying?
no idea what their plan was until they actually executed the plan. They're talking about jump it off the fucking boat and shoot the
We're only in
torpedoes.
the water like this much.
Yeah,
and all
you're
that
right.
You didn't
stuff.
understand?
No, I fucking no.
I was thinking like GTA level shit.
No, I didn't know until the boat hits the other boat and they're in the air and it does that like cool, like monotone shot of the torpedo flying off of the Lagoon boat into the helicopter.
Yeah.
And like the close up shot of the literally
Yeah.
the torpedo in the bad
Torpedo
guy's face.
to the fucking face. That shit was great.
It was awesome.
Absolutely destroyed.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely unrealistic.
And then
It probably
Rock
would
is
never
just
work.
like holding up middle finger, like fuck
Yeah.
you.
It's his freedom moment. That's his moment of like, yeah, fuck society, I guess, at that point. Like, fuck you for trying to make me dead.
Yeah,
Yeah, my note there was sick torpedo maneuver.
it was dope.
I also missed. I'm gonna do this a lot, guys, and I'm sorry, but at the end of episode 1, the pacing of this show is very strange.
You think so?
Did you guys not notice like where the commercial breaks come in and where the episodes end is very weird?
I did notice that, but I just hate whenever shows have to do that. The commercial breaks fuck me up.
I didn't notice the commercial breaks, but also, what were you guys watching on?
Hulu.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
They do each episode has one big, like, they cut to that certain commercial break screen.
They
Yeah.
probably do. I didn't notice them as much because I was able
It's
to
in,
watch
like, the
them.
middle of action.
But
I was
the
able to watch
episode
them all
also
the way through without breaks. So.
it ends at a very weird place. Like the first one ending with him chucking the gun off the boat
Yeah,
is a weird. It's like a weird ending.
it's a slightly weird ending.
Well,
yeah.
it's like a two-parter episode.
I mean, yeah, it's an arc.
But even the second one, I didn't write what the actual ending of the second episode is, but I remember it being like, what the?
Well,
The-
the second episode is him basically joining the crew, and they hand off the disc.
They hand off the disc, but then we have
New
the,
identity.
the little moment of him and they're taking over another ship. There's that little moment of him
yeah,
still in his tie,
Right.
even though he has the big moment with his boss going, "Come along, Okajima," and he's like, "Nah, I'm
good.
dead, right?" And he's like, "Very well," and then they just leave, and he sticks around and joins up with the Lagoon
Yeah.
Company. And
This is where we see the boss is the fucking worst husband on earth.
yes, and that
They're like, "Oh, I didn't think you'd be coming home today."
yeah.
It's like, what?
That juxtaposition
And
of
then she
the
asked
boss,
him
yeah,
to like help with the daughter, and he's like, "I thought that was your job."
fucking,
So fucked.
It's like,
and
wow,
asks his
okay.
son, "How are your studies?" And he's like, "Not good." And he just doesn't care. He's like, "Okay."
He also consistently only reads the business paper to check his stocks.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he does.
Yeah,
every time you see him.
one of my notes when he opens that paper up at home, his note is the line he says is, the stocks."
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
That's fucking.
But we have the
great.
juxtaposition of him doing that while Rock is at his new air quote job.
Yeah.
So I assume this guy is gonna matter in the future of this show
Because why would we
because
see
they
his
showed
home life?
background?
His dog is named John.
So
Weird dog name.
So
or great dog name, depending on how you look at it.
I'll tell you right now.
Hello, John.
They literally just do that for the juxtaposition between Rock's new job and then the old corporate life because he never shows up again, from what I remember.
Wow, that seems useless. I think that was.
It was supposed to be like Rock's new air quote job is he is like on the bullhorn and Rebby's got a little RPG and they're just like trying to get this boat to stop before they have to shoot at him. And then they end up shooting him with a fucking
pissed,
RPG.
bro.
Also,
I think they should have called. I think there should still be more stuff with the boss guy. If
there should.
Background.
There's much better characters that show up later.
Okay.
Well, I would hope so.
So like,
One of
fuck the boss.
When he says, when Rebby mentions, like,
next
why are you
arc.
still wearing that short sleeve button down with a tie?
Yeah.
And he's like, because we happen to be at work. That was funny.
it was great.
Yeah,
It was good.
That's great. I love that he's
It
still wearing
definitely
that like corporate.
He can't get out of the
white-collar
mindset.
outfit.
Yeah.
It shows
hilarious.
the type of person that he is too.
Yeah.
He's like he takes his job very seriously.
That was also my last note.
Which is great. But then he also continues.
You didn't take any notes for episode
I
3?
took no notes for episode 3.
What the fuck?
Guys,
Yeah, so episode 3 is called Ring Ding Ship Chase.
Yep.
And it takes place in the City of Immorality or the City of Pleasure.
Well, it's the same place.
2 names, though.
It's Roanapur.
Well, that's what they called it, Trevor. I mean, you keep saying these things.
They literally call it.
It's the same thing with the City of Winter. This is what they're calling
It's
it in the
Tokyo.
show.
They literally call it Roanapur in that episode.
I
It's the
think-
first time we hear the name Roanapur.
That's what they say. And the bridge has a freaking noose hanging on it.
It does because it's
Spooky.
a city for thieves
spooky.
and criminals and liars and cheats. And
Yeah, so they have like a dope little apartment.
Yep. The office.
And Dutch, like, he's like, all right, I'm going to go for a dope walk. And he pieces out.
Yep. And while Rock is trying his best to find some semblance of good in the city in his own way,
Getting some.
he gets shaved, which is just standard, I guess. It's whatever. But he gets shaved on the street by a guy who looks like it would kill him in a moment.
Yeah, he gets some horrible tasting fruits, apparently.
That's
Yeah.
his moment of trying to figure out, is there a good place? And the answer is no. Because
Yeah,
even
not in the city.
the nice old woman selling fruit on the side of the street is selling garbage.
And Mr. Chin rolls up on Dutch to talk to him about the Russians.
Shout
Yes.
out, Mr. Chin.
Mr. Chin.
Yeah, Mr. Chin. He rolls up on him. He's like a little bit pissed and also wants to try to recruit him.
Yeah.
He's
got a
like
funny
he's like mad
face.
about past ventures, and Dutch is like, you guys fucked up before.
Fuck them over,
Basically,
specifically.
yeah.
Because Lagoon Company works for anyone that has money.
Anyone has the cash and they seem like the venture's nice.
They do have, I believe they even say it here, they have a bit of a thing with the Russians, and that I think because the Russians consistently give them work, they
good
give them,
contracts.
they give them a slight discount or something like that because they consistently are working with them. And
Yes.
Chin is like, stop working with the Russians, only work for me. And he's like, no, because they're free agents. Why the fuck would he do that?
Yeah, I liked a lot the Dutch like on his own walking around
Same.
stuff going on. Like
It did a
I
lot.
feel like it deepened it a lot.
It deepened it a lot. It did a lot to like set the tone.
Yeah.
And that was the first moment where I was like, oh, I would probably watch more of this show.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
reminded me of the episode, sorry, Cobb, but in Cowboy Bebop, it's one of the earlier episodes where they're trying to find a dog.
Yeah.
And Jet is walking around like in a city, as well as Spike, obviously. But
Yeah.
there's
That-
like a lot of world building that's
See,
done. In
I
that
thought you were going to
moment.
talk about Jet's solo episode later on in the show.
Well, yeah, that's
Is Jet from Avatar an homage to Jet from what you were just talking about, Cowboy Bebop?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
don't-
Jet
no,
and
not
Bebop
at
all.
in
They look
Avatar.
similar.
Wait, actually, no.
They look really similar.
Who is Jet in
No,
Avatar?
you're talking about Spike.
I haven't-
You're thinking of Spike.
I'm thinking of the guy that's on your shirt.
That's Spike.
Oh, okay,
yeah, no,
never mind.
Jet,
Jet
is a
is
very
his-
large, burly man with a robot arm.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I was thinking of the dude on your shirt.
Okay. Maybe though.
I mean,
I
it
haven't
could-
watched Avatar since high school.
It could. I don't think.
I don't know. I haven't seen the show.
because
broaching it.
Jet's kind of a dick in Avatar. So
Spike's
He
not-
is, but also he has a good arc.
I
In
don't.
Bossing Say, you don't think he has a good
No,
arc?
he does, but I'm trying to
You're
like.
crazy, dude.
No, he does, but I'm trying to relate it to Jet from or Spike from
I
Cowboy
mean, he's
Bebop.
definitely an asshole.
So
who has an incredible arc.
he does have an incredible arc, but it's not the same. Even like not really the same kind of arc.
I don't remember.
I can't wait to watch it. I was just gonna watch Cowboy Bebop on my own.
You're not
No,
anymore.
you're not allowed to.
Yeah, well,
You're
I'm
not
gonna tab
allowed
on
to.
you guys when I do it anyway.
I
We'll
have
have to
the
immediately
Blu-
come and record.
I have the Bluray. We'll come. I'll bring it over and we'll watch it.
I want to watch with.
Of course. I mean, with
So
you.
this is where we find out that Rebby has been a hardened criminal for life.
Yes.
She has like her little
Life.
talk with Rock, and she has like a little flashback scene. I wrote down rough past, small flashback.
Yeah.
That's all I wrote down.
Rock is
Because
discussing.
it doesn't really show a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's very vague.
It doesn't show shit.
Well, it doesn't. I guess because I'm looking at it
That's
through the
why we
lens of.
still are not sympathetic towards her. Me
That's
and Will are
fair.
still pissed off at her.
I'm pissed off at her.
I'm looking at it
And
through
her
the lens
booty
of I
shorts.
know more about her past at this
Right.
point. So, but yeah, like she even as a small kid, she was in a shitty situation, and Rock doesn't even realize that people are like that. Kind of, he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you were by the river with a little cutlass in hand, playing pirate or something," and she's like, "No, I killed people," and it's like, ooh, poor Rock. He's having to come to the realization that this person that he like
Don't you
considers
attack Rock.
somewhat of a. I'm not attacking Rock.
He is a child.
I'm coming at Rock.
Leave him in his tie alone.
He's really still innocent about this because
He definitely is.
For sure.
he's very innocent, and we are seeing
Also
him
a little
slowly.
bit annoying how innocent he is.
Yeah. Well, wait.
But they're so different, Rock and Rebby.
Very different.
Like
we haven't had the.
they're gonna
moment
end
yet
up
that
kissing,
everyone-
aren't they?
Ooh, do they fuck, Trev?
You guys will have to see the moment that everyone
They
draws
end up
fan art
kissing.
about coming up soon.
Ooh,
Oh, so
wait,
they-
people are
so they
shipping them.
fuck.
People are
They
shipping
fuck.
them hard.
They're getting shipped?
You'll have to see. I'm not gonna.
Do you ship Rebby and Rock?
I'm not one of the shows that I'm super heavy on the ships for.
Shame.
You more ship Benny and Dutch.
Oh, of course.
I ship Benny and Dutch. That's a hot couple. Shout out to Benny, bro. Great.
Shout out Ben. I
Great,
think Benny's the
great stubble.
Benny's the
That's my
Benny's the pitcher in that relationship, 100%.
Damn, that's wild.
Changing up dynamics, you know.
Fair,
Like,
fair,
no,
fair.
but straight up,
It's 2020.
Benny gets a girl later. Anyways,
Oh.
Oh,
But then
boilies.
6 ships are in pursuit.
yes.
Dutch knows them.
So that scene was sweet.
These are my notes.
That scene was sweet. When she just destroys 6
was cool.
fucking
Yes.
gunboats by herself.
Those idiots
I
in
was
their
like,
crossfire at the
okay.
very beginning.
Yeah. That was tight. That was a good scene.
It was a really good scene.
Again, I took no notes on episode 3, but that part was cool.
Yeah, that was, I feel like, the whole second half of the episode. The first half was them in the city, and the second half was the dope fight.
Honestly, episode 3 was my favorite
Yeah.
of the 3, and I'm not sure why I took no notes, but I loved.
You were, engrossed
I was into
in
it. Yeah, I loved the play setting of the first half, and I loved. That was the best action. The bar fight was cool
Bar fight's good.
in episode
This fight was better.
1.
but I thought this fight was better.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is one of the best. This is definitely a better fight than the first fight.
And I love Rock just freaking out. Like, how is she doing this? Is she human? Like, you've got his internal monologue going as she does all this crazy
And
shit.
the fact that he realizes, like, why am I like so hype over her killing so many people?
Yeah.
And that was cool. Like, it was. I don't know. I really love that fight.
It was a really cool action scene.
Very cool action scene. Super unrealistic in some points, but
Well,
you know,
yeah, she's
whatever.
jumping like
Yeah,
from
but what are you
boat
gonna
to
do?
boat.
so far onto these boats.
Boat to boat to boat, and the grenade
It doesn't
launcher
matter,
and
though.
everything.
No, it
Oh, it
doesn't
was
matter.
so good. I do love that fight scene. It's a good
It
fight
was
scene.
sweet.
She's got her Walkman. She gets going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Though whatever line she says before she starts that scene, when I don't remember it, but it's something along the lines of like, "Stop talking to me. Let me get like in my zone.
It was
Or, like, let me live in this moment." And
let
she
me-
puts the music on.
it's because Rock was talking about his life, like back in
Right.
Japan, and she's like, "Enough of your fantasy world. I need to be in my world,
Right, and then she clicks
the real world."
clicks
or
play
whatever.
on the cassette,
yeah, and starts
and then
doing
just
her,
goes to fucking town. I
her
enjoyed
dope
that.
music and stuff.
As a
yeah.
music boy, I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
Throw on some fucking Fleet Foxes.
her SMG and her
the
grenade
fight?
launcher.
And
So
yeah,
good.
so the last note that I have is after that scene. And it's the Russian lady fucks up Mr. Chin.
That was
C4
crazy.
plus gasoline.
That was
That was
crazy.
C4, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what it
100%.
seemed like.
She fucked that man up.
Well, yeah, because
Good. Fuck Mr. Chin.
Yeah, 100%.
Before
Nah,
I was
shout
just
out Mr.
joking when
Chin.
I said he was dope.
No, of
Guy's
course.
a scumbag.
And Balalaika looks after the people in her employ.
And those are all my freaking notes.
Balalaika's awesome. I love Balalaika. She is a consistent character in this show.
I'm sure that I'll care more about those characters later.
Oh, absolutely. There's some really good.
Right now, I don't really have any feelings for any of the characters.
The next arc, if I'm remembering correctly, doesn't have anything to do with Balalaika, sadly. Or does it? I don't think it does. But it's a good arc, and it's a 3-episode arc, so we're not going to have a one-off episode like we did this time.
Okay, so that was my question, actually. When I mentioned earlier in the episode, I have a few questions about the show before I continue it. And that was obviously before me knowing that you're going to show us some more.
Yeah.
Does it continue in the, like, quote-unquote case of the week type style, or are there more consistent arcs? So, like, obviously Bebop does, like, almost every episode of Bebop is a standalone episode.
But it's all lending to the overall plot.
Right.
Right.
Whereas, like, Attack on Titan is a consistent through line.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And Champloo was more of, like, an episode per episode.
Yes.
And
With
so...
a somewhat of an overarching plot in
right.
Champloo.
But Bebop especially was, like,
extremely
case of the
Bebop.
week almost.
This show does mini arcs for the most part.
Okay.
I believe... Yeah, Roberta's Blood Trail, which is our technical season 3, is the entire season is one arc.
Cool.
But it's also not a full season, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Season 2, from my memory, because I haven't looked at the episode list in a minute, is straight in half.
So half and half.
Half arc, like an arc in the first half, an arc in the second half.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Our overarching plot is more of Rock's development and as a person, like now going from this corporate sheltered life to
a pirate. Pirate's life for me.
Yeah, the pirate's life, the criminal underworld,
Yeah.
having to come to terms with that. And he has jumps in his character development, and sometimes it's like, that was a weird jump that you took. But regardless, yeah, that's kind of the overall for this. Is it's more mini arcs. There's not an end goal we're looking for.
Okay, knowing that, I'm more inclined to watch more, because if it continued on the same like pace of episode 1 and 2 were more or less tied together,
it was one arc, yeah.
But 3 was its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was concerned about it being like episode 4 is its own thing, 5 its own thing. I'm much more susceptible to like a consistent narrative.
Yeah.
I agree.
Which is also hypocritical because I love Adventure Time and that shows all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
But there is a narrative to Adventure Time if you
Yeah.
stick with it eventually.
I feel like the best shows are able to do both.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
So Adventure Time will have quote unquote filler episodes, but it will also have like a few in a row that are like unbelievably tied together and are amazing.
For sure.
And we're going to have some shows that I'll show that do have an overarching like end goal.
Yeah.
But this is definitely more of a just... I mean, like, what kind of end goal are we looking for with a pirate crew, you know? Like,
I don't know.
They're not really looking
That's
to
up
get...
to
They
the
find the
creatives to
treasure.
decide.
Yeah.
There's not really a treasure, though, because they're modern pirates. There's not really a
Yeah.
buried treasure that anyone's looking for a map for. They're running drugs and information and people. Like, what do you... Like, yeah. So it's more arcs, rocks...
They mentioned heroin.
Yeah, the heroin routes and stuff. Lagoon Company doesn't really run drugs that often, to be fair. But...
They don't look like drug addicts.
They're not. They don't have to be drug addicts to run drugs.
You always taste a little bit of it.
Cobb.
I don't
Come
think. Anyway.
Don't listen to him.
Yeah, they just drink a lot.
They
rum.
drink a lot.
Rum.
Smoke a
That was
lot.
also great. Their rum. It was like, of course, they're drinking rum.
Full
A pirate's
glass.
life for me.
They're pirates. Yeah. And Benny's drinking something on the rocks. Like he's just doing his
Shout
own.
out Benny, bro. He's from Florida.
He's
He's drinking
chilling.
fucking bath salts.
He was. I like to
That's
think.
a drug.
I like to think because he says he was at a college in Florida whenever he was hacking stuff and got picked up. I like to think he was at UF.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like it though.
I don't
He
know.
seems like he was on the coast.
He's like a Florida Gulf Coast guy.
Or UM.
I mean, that also is just Japan going Florida Hawaiian shirt.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's very true.
Yeah.
But also, Rebby buys Rock the Hawaiian shirt that we never see. So
I wish I could have seen it.
you never will.
Damn.
As far as I remember, anyways.
Anyway, talking about it, what did I say originally? 6.5?
I think so.
I think you landed
I'm up to
on
a
6.
7.
You're up to 7. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about it, I'm up to a 7. I enjoyed it.
It's a
I
fun
like to
show.
see where they go.
I agree. That's what. That's
I have my
where I rated it.
misgivings, but listening to you guys talk about it and like letting my own opinion formulate, I'm intrigued. So
Right
I'm
on.
excited to see.
Me too. That's why I
4
wanted to
through
watch
6.
the 4th episode so bad because
Yeah.
I was a little bit hooked. I
Yeah.
was like, I kind of want to watch more.
'Cause 4 through
Even
6
though
will
the
put
first
us-
couple were like
half of first season.
Yes. I believe we only have... I believe it is another 3-episode arc. I think there's only one more episode in this season that is a standalone, like we just had.
Oh, that's sweet.
And then another... I think it's a 2-episode, if not a 3-episode arc. I'm trying to remember off the top
Okay.
of my head right now. I looked the other day to try
Right
and
on.
figure out our
Yeah.
pacing, but... Yeah, it's good. And then we may or may not go into season 2. We haven't decided yet.
It's up to you, my dude.
Yeah,
But
we'll see.
we might just do the full season as of one full review, but also maybe half and half I might do. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll
Right
figure
on.
it out.
But yeah, I loved it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and didn't hate it.
Definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah,
The
same.
end. Did you guys listen to the end song at all?
I don't know.
The credit song?
I want to say
I let 'em
Hulu.
roll. I don't know.
I want to
It's-
say Hulu cut it off before the final credits.
Definitely
It's a very soft ending. It's just like a very slow, soft ending. It's kind of crazy.
We'll make a point to listen to it
Yeah.
before the next time we talk about this show.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, that's
Cool.
been Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trev.
Thanks
I'm
for
glad you
showing
guys-
it to us, Trev.
Of course. Thanks. I'm glad you guys liked it. And we'll see you next time.